Streaming from the 22 News Broadcast Center. This is 22 News at 4 p.m. Digital Edition.
Hey, good Tuesday afternoon and happy St. Patrick's Day. I'm Nick Oresco. Thanks for joining us for 22 News at 4 o'clock. Top stories in just a moment. But first, after a lot of rain overnight and early this morning, also some strong wind gusts knocking out power across Massachusetts, things have improved this afternoon. Let's bring in 22 News Storm Team meteorologist Brian Lapis now. Look at traffic and weather.
Yeah, still kind of windy out there, so there still is the chance for some power lines to get rattled around a little bit here over the next couple of hours. But yeah, certainly things are starting to calm down in terms of that. We've had a couple of traffic problems. You can see here we've got this interesting do not enter sign over I-91 and Route 5 here in Springfield. Oh, look at that. The road closed due to a crash. I believe that is Route 5 in West Springfield. Thank you to the mysterious white hand that came over and clicked on that to help me out. Appreciate that. Protect the talent. 91 otherwise is running fine, and you can see here on the Pike we're in good shape and really nothing major doing on I-91 even in downtown Springfield. I'm actually looking at our monitor over Garrett's shoulder, and it looks like I-91 downtown is running fine. Let's take a look at the wind gusts right now, shall we? 29 mile per hour gusts Westfield, 26 miles per hour Springfield, 30 miles per hour Pittsfield, and even a 40 mile per hour, 41 mile per hour gust in North Adams. The plan is for these gusts to gradually diminish, but it's going to be breezy to windy right through sunset, so be ready for it. And temperatures are about where we expected them. 41 Springfield, 38 Northampton, a little bit colder in the Berkshires, 29 right now in Pittsfield and 30 in North Adams. And you can see the partly to mostly sunny skies, and you can almost see the wind blowing across the valley as well. Tomorrow, about the same amount of sunshine and a little bit cooler. We'll track it with our 22 News Storm Team forecast.
A pedestrian is critically injured after a motor vehicle accident in West Springfield. Police were called to the Donut Dip on Riverdale Street around 6:05 this morning. That pedestrian, who has only been identified as a 54-year-old man, suffered life-threatening injuries and was taken to Bay State Medical Center. No charges have been filed at this time, though an investigation is underway. We will provide updates as soon as we get them. Meantime, police in Springfield say they've made a firearms arrest. Officers responded to Central Street at around 7 p.m. Monday. There, police say 27-year-old Bobby Guzman allegedly pointed a gun at an adult and 3 children. Guzman ran from police, but officers surrounded his home and found him in the basement. Police also seized 2 stolen illegal guns and 8 rounds of ammunition from his home. He's facing several charges related to firearms, stolen property, and breaking and entering. Well, today is St. Patrick's Day, and many plan to go out and celebrate the Irish holiday. But before you head out the door, it is important to make sure you're keeping safety in mind. According to AAA, St. Patrick's Day is one of the deadliest days on the road, resulting in over 3,100 car accidents here in Massachusetts since 2021. Safety officials are encouraging those celebrating to plan a ride home before having any alcohol. That could mean designating a sober driver, taking a taxi or rideshare service, using public transit, or staying overnight. Communities across western Massachusetts were hit by heavy wind and rain overnight last night. Fallen trees and downed wires prompted road closures all across the region, from state highways to smaller side streets. Multiple towns like Wilbraham, Belchertown, and Ware saw over 1,000 customers lose power due to the storm. Statewide, that number expanded to over 60,000 customers at its peak this morning. Luckily, that number has gone down dramatically. Still, though, Brian, some windy conditions out there this afternoon and evening.
Yeah, we're not talking about 50 mile per hour gusts this afternoon, but we are talking about some 30 mile per hour gusts. So keep your wits about you as you're driving, and be careful. There could certainly be some debris around and maybe even a couple of down power lines. And remember to treat all down power lines as if they're live, so just stay far away.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at what's happening right now. Otherwise, clouds and radar showing a partly to mostly sunny afternoon. A little bit more gray to the west as opposed to the east. Might even be a couple of flurries. In fact, from time to time, I was seeing a couple of flurries here and there, even in the valley earlier today. 22 News Storm Team Skycast. You'll notice the clearing trend as we move into the evening. Clearing and diminishing wind. Temperatures this evening will be in the 20s. We expect overnight low temperatures to be in the teens and low 20s. So clear to start here tomorrow morning. Sunshine at 7. A few clouds at 10 o'clock, and then a little wave of clouds moves in here during the middle of the day tomorrow. But those will thin out by mid-afternoon. So a partly sunny day here tomorrow. High temperature cooler, 34 to 38. So that's about 10 degrees cooler than average for many of us. We'll track warmer weather for Thursday and our chances for rain and snow later this week and over the weekend on 22 News starting at 5.
Trending today, the Basketball Hall of Fame has announced the winners of the 15th annual Western Massachusetts Player of the Year Awards. The award is going to both Sam Brigham of Pope Francis Prep and Emerson Cage of Longmeadow High School. Brigham is a 2-year starter at Pope Francis and finished as the second all-time leading scorer in Western Massachusetts history. Cage tore her ACL and scored more than 1,200 career points as a 4-year varsity starter for the Longmeadow Lancers. They will receive their awards during halftime at their respective games. Across state lines in Connecticut, one lucky guest at Mohegan's Sun nearly became a multi-millionaire. It was announced today that a woman named Leslie O took home nearly $1.8 million from a $5 spin on a Whitney Houston-themed slot machine. A lucky spin that big is pretty rare. The last time a mega grand jackpot was hit at Mohegan was back in February when another winner walked away with over $1.7 million. Well, it's said to be the world's most famous phone number, and now it's doing some good for those in need. The 7 digits, made famous by Tommy Two-Tone's 1981 hit song 8675309, now directs callers to the nonprofit cancer support community. By calling the iconic number, people affected by cancer can receive information, support, and advice from trained specialists. Tommy Two-Tone himself was previously diagnosed with skin cancer and says he's honored that his song will help people remember the hotline's number, 8675309. Tonight on 22 News starting at 5, the city of Springfield is celebrating St. Patrick's Day by raising the flag of Ireland. CY Mayor Dominic Sarno says he's proud to recognize the local Irish community. And last night's storms impacted more than just the roads. We'll hear from one local resident who had 3 cars crushed by a fallen tree in her driveway. Plus, our 22 News Storm Team meteorologists break down just how strong last night's wind gusts actually were. Brian?
Got a crash on Route 5 in West Springfield near the I-90, I-91 interchange, so keep this in mind that there could be some significant delays on Route 5 in West Springfield. Otherwise, we've got the usual delays building now at the either end of I-291 at the Mass Pike and at the 91 end. And then 91 looks good. Otherwise, a little brief slowdown here in Westfield on the Mass Pike. Wind will diminish tonight. We cool down overnight. We'll track temperatures and weather for the rest of the week on 22 News starting at 5.
And updates anytime at wwlp.com, the free 22 News app, and always on 22 News Plus. We'll see you tonight starting at 5.